We can't hear you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome. Let's chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Om Vishnupadaya, Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine, Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता एज इट इज की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। Samaveta Gaur Bhakti Vrind ki Jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. We are reciting from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 10, text 41. Anyone needs to go first? Please raise your hand if you need to go first. Okay, nobody. So we'll just go in order. Achit Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandrat Pranams.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Go ahead, Mataji.
यद्यद्विभूतिमासत्वं श्रीमदुचितमेवं तत्तदेव देवः कच्छत्वं मम तेजोंससंभवम्. Translation. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Achintadev Prabhu?
Mataji, I'll do at the end.
Yes. Okay. Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita? After them.
They are not ready yet.
They are not. Okay, go ahead.
So that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Inba, Inya, Jai Ganesh Prabhu, Jai Shri Mataji. Jai Ganesh Prabhu. Not ready. Isha. Oh, you're ready. Go ahead, Prabhu.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमच्चितं एव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं ममो तेजोंससंभवम्. Translation of Goswami. Know that all opulent, beautiful, spring from but a spark of my splendor. Others are not available.
Okay, Prabhu. Isha.
यद्यद्विभूतिवत्सत्वं श्रीमद् एव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंससंभवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Krishna Ashish.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद् वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंससंभवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Madhava. Not here. Rasa Priya recited already. So, Sonia Mataji is not here. Lokesh.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
यद्यद्विभूतिं मत्सत्त्वं श्रीमद् एव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंससंभवम्. Know that all opulence, beauty, and glorious creations spring from but my spark of my splendor. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Jai Guru Maharaj.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji.
यद्यद्विभूतिमत्सत्त्वं श्रीमत्पूजितमेव वा तत्तदेवावगच्छत्वं मम तेजोंससंभवम्. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna. Okay. Medha and Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavad Pranam Mataji, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yat yat vibhuti sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va Tat tat eva avagachatvam Mama tejomsa sambhavam. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creation spring from but a spark of my splendor. Thank you, Mataji. Meta will be back in a few minutes, Mataji.
Okay. Suvarnangi Mataji. Narsimhalila Chetan Prabhu, Suraj Purti.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vibhutimatsattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tat eva eva
Evavagachatvam.
evavagachat mama tejo mashambhavaham tejam cha sambhavaham. Translation. Know that all opulent and beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Yadyet vibhuti. Hare Krishna. Namaskar.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yadyet vibhuti matsattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va Tat eva avagachatvam Mama tejomsa sambhavam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yadyad vibhuti matsatvam srimadurjitameva va tattad eva vagachatvam mama tejam sambhavam. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Please accept the humble obeisance of all beloved Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Yadyat vibhuti matsatvam Srimad Urjitameva va Tattad eva vagachatvam Mama tejomsha sambhavam. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Thank you,
Thank
Mataji.
you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji. You'll go later.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Yes, Mataji.
Yad yad vibhuti matsattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va tat tat eva avagachatvam mama tejo vanshu sambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Saujanya Mataji and Pragnya.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yadyad vibhuti matsattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va Tattad eva vagachatvam Mama tejom sashambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of splendor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pragnya.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yatyat vibhuti matsatvam Srimad Urjitam eva cha Tattad eva eva gachatvam mamateho misa sambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations sprang from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble obeisances. All
Please
glories
accept my humble obeisances, Mataji.
to Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Yadyad vibhuti matsatvam Srimad Urjitameva va Taddad eva vagachatvam Mama tejom sasambhavam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So, Usha Mataji, Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yatyat vibhutimats-sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va Tat eva avagachatvam Mama tejom cha sambhavam. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor.
Yeah. Achintadev Prabhu, Aditi Lata Mataji, Arunita, are you ready?
Yes, Mataji, I can read. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Yad yad vibhuti matsattvam
Yat yat vibhuti mat sattvam
Srimad Urjitameva va
Srimad Urjitam eva bha
Tattad evavagachatvam.
tat tat eva gachatam
Yeah. Evavagachatvam
tat tat eva va gachatam
Mama tejomsha sambhavam.
mama tejosma sambhavam.
Tejomsha.
Tejosha. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita.
Mataji, they are not ready.
Okay. Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yad yad vibhuti matsattvam Srimad Urjitam eva va Tattad eva avagachatvam Mama tejom shasambhavam. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Achintadev Prabhu. Yeah. Aditi Lata Mataji and Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Yad yad vibhutimats-sattvam Srimad Urjitam eva cha
Evava. Evava.
Tat eva avagachatvam Mama tejom sambhava. Translation. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mataji is not there. Okay. Anyone else? So, I'll also recite. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 41. Yad yad vibhuti matsattvam Srimad Urjitameva va Tattad evavagachatvam Mama tejomsha sambhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful, and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. So let's read Srimad Bhagavatam now. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, the dynasty of Amshuman. So, we read about Amshuman and Amshuman's dynasty. So, one of his descendants is Saudasa, King Saudasa. He didn't have any sons, and also he has another name called Kalmashapada because he was cursed by Vashishta Muni. Why he was cursed by Vashishta Muni? Who remembers? Why was Saudasa cursed by Vashishta Muni?
He was cursed because when Saurashtra killed one Brahma Rakshasa, his brother, the Brahma Rakshasa's brother, he left, so he didn't kill the brother of the Brahma Rakshasa. And then the brother wanted to take revenge, so he went and joined as the cook in Saudasa's king as the cook. And when Vashishta Muni came over for lunch or prasadam, he served the cook, the Brahma Rakshasa's brother. He served to Vashishta.
Yes. So Vashishta Muni cursed him that you are serving me human flesh, so you become a human, like a man-eater, Brahma Rakshasa. And then after that, soon after cursing, he realized. So Vashishta Muni could understand, seeing the food, he could understand that this food is not fit to be eaten. But somehow he didn't immediately realize that this was not Saudasa's mistake, it was actually the Brahma Rakshasa's brother who did the mischief. But when Vashishta Muni realized that, Saudasa had already turned into a Brahma Rakshasa. So Vashishta Muni, he performed severe austerities for 12 years as a prayashchitta for cursing the king unnecessarily. So when this Saudasa, when he was cursed by Vashishta Muni, his guru, he was like, I didn't do anything and unnecessarily you are cursing me. So he wanted to curse Vashishta Muni back. He took some water, chanted to chant mantras and curse Vashishta Muni. But when he was about to do that, his wife Madayanti, she begged him, my lord, don't do this, right? He's your guru, please don't do. And as she was begging, meanwhile Saudasa turned into a Brahma Rakshasa and he was seeing in the sky, on the earth, all around him, there are so many living entities that he could eat because he turned into a Brahma Rakshasa. Brahma Rakshasa does not mean that now he had these teeth and he looked like a Rakshasa, but his nature was now he was a man-eater. So when he turned into a Brahma Rakshasa, there appeared a black spot on his foot. That is why his name from then onwards became, Saudasa's name became Kalmasha Pada. Kalmasha Pada. He was still the king, but a man-eater. So once he was in the forest and he happened to see a Brahmana engaged with his wife in trying to produce a baby. So then when he saw the Brahmana, he was simply thinking, oh, nice Brahmana to eat. And he seized the Brahmana. And the wife started begging the king that you are not a Rakshasa, you are a king and you're a very, you're a warrior, a fearless fighter on the battlefield. Why are you acting like a Rakshasa, taking a Brahmana? Besides, this human form of human body is meant for universal benefits. So there in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explained, the highest benefit is achievable in this human form of body. What is the highest benefit? Worshipping Radha Krishna. Manushya janama paiya, Radha Krishna na bhajiya, janiya shuniya visha khainu. After taking a human form of birth, if anyone does not worship Radha Krishna, then knowingly he is eating poison. That means he's killing himself. Like that. So she, of course, and also in the purport itself, we saw levels of perfection. After coming to human form of body, one perfection is you transcend the modes of material nature, so you don't have to take birth again in this world. That's one perfection. But that means liberation? No, the next level is going back to Godhead. That means you go to Vaikuntha somewhere and live there in Sukha Ishwarya, that is also there. But simply going back to Godhead is also not the goal. Even higher than that is to engage after going back to Godhead, they're engaging in the service of Radha Krishna. So that is going to Golok Vrindavan. That is going there and engaging in the service, engaging in service. And again, further on in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada explains that engaging in service also, that's actually the beginning, right? Simply see, like, Chatur Vida Bhajante Mam, there that Jnani I was telling you, he is, when he gets perfection, what happens to him? He gets Shantarati. Shantarati means you are very much attracted to the Lord. You like to look at the Lord all the time like that. but you're not actually attached to rendering some service for the Lord, to the Lord. So higher than this Shantarati of just, in great awe and reverence, you like to look at the Lord. You don't have any other attachments, even except the Lord. The form of the Lord is very dear to you, but you're not doing any active service. You see, you're not doing any active service. That is Shantarati. Higher than that is Dasya Rasa. Dasya Rati means now you want to do some service, right? Oh, let me clean the Lord's place, or let me bring some water for the Lord, like that. Render some service. Higher than this Rati, Dasya relationship is Asakya, treating the Lord like a friend. Again, as a servant, the role is always a servant, serving the Lord in the mood of a friend, as a friend serves his friend, like that, serving the Lord as a friend. And even higher than that is serving the Lord like a parent. And the highest is serving the Lord like a lover. This is the highest development that is possible. And all this is available in the human form of life. So therefore the highest benefit is available. This human form of life is very, very valuable. And there itself Srila Prabhupada said that, but those who are too much attached to, or who have made up their mind that they will live in this world and they will live comfortably in this world very nicely, eternally they're going to live here, such people, they will not get any taste for devotional service to Radha Krishna. They won't be interested, they won't have time for these things. So, and quoting Prahlad Maharaj's shloka, Srila Prabhupada says, either by other people's instructions or by their own intelligence or by discussion in a group, they will never come to the conclusion that I should render devotional service to the Lord. This is the problem. So this is all this purport is on the shloka, that this human form of life is meant for universal benefit. How? On different levels. The basic level is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha means you do some work, even if you want some material benefit, right? It can be achieved through in this human form of life, but that's basic. By dharma, you'll get artha. By that artha, you can fulfill your sense gratification, and ultimately you can also get moksha, like this. So this Brahmani is now begging the king, right? So that's where we are at. So she's saying that please don't kill my husband. He's a Brahmana, and this human form of life is meant for universal benefit. And yeah, now the next verse. Who's supposed to read today?
I think Arunita and myself will start.
Okay. Esha hi brahmano vidvams tapah shila gunanvitah आरिराधईश्वर ब्रह्मा महापुरुषा संगितम सर्वभूतात्म भावेन भूतेष्वन्तर्हितं गुणैः. Hare Krishna.
Here is a learned, highly qualified Brahmana, engaged in performing austerity and eagerly desiring to worship the Supreme Lord. The super soul who lives within the core of the heart in all living entities.
Hare Krishna. Here is a learned, the wife is saying, Brahmani is telling Kalmashapada, who has her husband in his clutches, right? In his grip. Here is a learned, highly qualified Brahmana, engaged in performing austerity and eagerly desiring to worship the Supreme Lord, the super soul who lives within the core of the heart in all living entities. Also, one more thing in our recap I didn't mention, she was telling this king that I desire to have a son and I have not yet been impregnated, and you're taking my husband away, right? So this is not nice, this is not right. So now then she's again saying about the human form of life, and in this verse she's saying this is not okay. Human form of life, within the human form of life also there are 4 varnas and 4 ashrams. Who is the topmost in the 4 varnas? The Brahmana. Topmost means he's the most advanced. Is the most advanced. So that means he got that type of training. He has those samskaras. He has gone through all that to come to that stage. Just like, you train one person to become, an officer in the army. How much training has gone in there, how much hard work, how many years, how much time has been spent, how much money, how much effort has been put, right? You just bring a brand new person, then for him to be trained like that officer, how much time it will take and how much effort, right? So he's already trained here and he can do so much benefit to others and for himself. If you abruptly kill him now, it's going to be such a waste, such a loss, like that. So she's saying, here is a highly qualified Brahmana, very learned and highly qualified Brahmana, engaged in performing austerity and eagerly desiring to worship the Supreme Lord, the super soul who lives within the core of the heart in all living entities. So Brahmana, Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. Brahmana is he who understands that he is not this body. He is a spirit soul. Right? Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. So he is very learned and he is advanced spiritually. Then when you realize that, what is your next duty? When you understand that I am not this body, I am a spirit soul, then you have to find out what are the duties of a spirit soul. Then you will understand what is the identity of the spirit soul. Jivera Swarupahai Krishnera Nityadas. Then I should render service to the Lord. So he is a Brahmana. He is already Brahmana, means his duties are, he performs tapasya. Of course, not duties. This is his quality. He performs tapasya. He lives a simple life. He is pure, right? Truthful, like that. So he's a Brahmana performing austerity. He's eagerly desiring to worship the Supreme Lord. He's desiring to worship the Supreme Lord. This is his position. So purport. Yeah. Achintadev Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Mataji, should I start from peaceful?
The wife of the Brahmana.
The wife of the Brahmana did not regard her husband as a superficial Brahmana who was called a Brahmana merely because he was born of a Brahmana family. Rather, this Brahmana was actually qualified with the Brahminical symptoms.
Yasya Yallakshanam Proktam, Bhagavatam 7:11-35.
The symptoms of a Brahmana are stated in the Shastra.
Shamodamastapa Shaucham, Kshantir Arjavameva va, Jnanam Vijnanamastikhyam, Brahma Karma Swabhavajam.
Peaceful self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which the Brahmana work. Not only must a Brahmana be qualified, but he must also engage in actual Brahminical activities. Simply to be qualified is not enough. One must engage in a Brahmana's duties. The duty of a Brahmana is to know the Param Brahma, Krishna, Param Brahma, Param Dharma, and Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam. Because of this, Brahmana was actually qualified and was also engaged in Brahminical activities, Brahma Karma. Killing him would be a greatly sinful act, and the Brahmana's wife requested that he not be killed.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? Killing a Brahmana is a great sin. Killing a Brahmana is a great sin. Anyone who kills a Brahmana, he becomes a Brahma Rakshasa. If you kill a Brahmana, you become a Brahma Rakshasa. When every day we worship Tulsi Maharani, Yani Kani Cha Papani, Brahma Hatyadi Kani Cha. Tani tani pranashyanti. Pradakshina pade pade. By circumambulating Tulsi Maharani pade pade again and again, you become free from all types of sins, even up to the sin of Brahmahatya, killing a Brahmana. That means that's like the ultimate sin, killing a Brahmana. But when you worship Tulsi Maharani, do parikrama of Tulsi Maharani again and again, you become relieved even from the sin of killing a Brahmana. So here, one very crucial point that we kind of overlooked. He's killing a Brahmana, but this is a Brahmana that the king is thinking of eating. It's a Brahmana that he's king. So the wife is saying, Srila Prabhupada is explaining. Yeah, she said, wife is saying, this is a highly qualified Brahmana who is desiring to worship the Supreme Lord in the core of his heart. Right? The Lord who is present in the core of the heart of all living entities. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining who is a Brahmana? What are the qualities of a Brahmana? Shamo damah tapas shaucham kshantir arjavam evacha. Jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma swabhavajam. Again, we may not think Brahmana means anyone who's taken birth in a Brahmana family or who has a title of a Brahmana. Yes, that is accepted if he is actually having these qualities. Guna karma. Guna karma vibhagasha. So if you have these qualities, even if you have not taken birth in a Brahmana family, you will be accepted as a Brahmana. And even you have taken birth in a Brahmana family, but you don't have these qualities, you didn't get this training, then you will be called a Brahma Bandhu, not a Brahmana. But this was a Brahmana by quality, because he is desiring to worship the Supreme Lord, he is performing austerities, he is very learned. Yes, so peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty. Honesty means truthfulness, wisdom, knowledge, and religiousness. These are the qualities by which a Brahmana is working. So Brahmana must be qualified. Qualified means you have done, just like you often Srila Prabhupada gives the example of a medical practitioner. You go to the college, you get your medical degree, so officially now you are doctor such and such because you have gotten your degree. But what if you don't practice it? Right? After you get your degree, then you just get married and you're doing your household work at home. Yeah, you have that title, but you're not actually using it, isn't it? So Brahmana is not only qualified. Qualified means he has done whatever is required. He studied under the teacher. He has learned. He's learned and everything. But he should also be using that, working as per the qualification. That's the point. Not only must a Brahmana be qualified, but he must also engage in actual Brahminical activities. What are Brahminical activities? Pathan, Patan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. Right? He studies the Vedas, he teaches the same to others. He himself worships the Supreme Lord, he worships for others, and he teaches others how to worship. Pathan, Patan, Yajan, and also Yagyas, and he'll do, Yajan, worshipping, and samskaras and all that. That's Brahmana's duties. And Dana Pratigraha. He will accept charity and whatever is excess, because he's simple, right? It is said that, he's austere, right? So he lives a very simple life. So even when he gets charity, he won't simply build his bank balance, big money. No. He'll just take what he needs for that day, what he needs for that day only. Whatever food he needs for that day, he will use. The rest he will give away in charity. Dana Pratigraha. These are the activities of a Brahmana. So one should be actually living by this principle. After being trained as a Brahmana, he should be living by this principle. And then the duty of a Brahmana, ultimate duty by doing all this is what? Brahma Janati. He should know Brahma, not just Brahma, but Param Brahma. Who is Param Brahma? Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Arjun say, Ahustvam Rishayam Sarve. What's the next line? Ahuswam Rishya Sarve
देवऋषिर्नारदस्तथा
Devarshir Naradastatha Asito Devalo Vyasaha
व्यासः
Swayam Chaiva Bravishme. Very nice, thank you. So, this is Arjun's realization. So, Parabrahma is Krishna. Brahmana, the duty of a Brahmana is to know Param Brahma Krishna. Because this Brahmana here, whom this Kalmashapada king has seized, he was actually qualified, he was living by the Brahminical qualifications. He was actually performing activities like a Brahmana, and he's desiring to worship the Supreme Lord. That means he knows Param Brahma. That means this is Brahma Hatya will become a greatly sinful act on part of this Kalmashapada. So this Brahmana's wife is saying, please don't kill him. This is not correct, right? It's not at all beneficial for you, and it is such a loss for the society. Soyam Brahma Rishi Varyaste Rajarshi Pravarad Vibho Katham Arhati Dharmagya Vadam Pitur Ivatmajaha. Okay. Aditi Lata Mataji is there?
Mataji, I raised my hand.
Sorry, Mataji. Sorry,
Mataji,
I
I
didn't.
read yesterday. If you want me, I can read again. That's not a problem.
No, there's others also. Let them read.
Okay.
Saujanya Mataji. Yeah, sorry. Saujanya Mataji.
No problem, Mataji. In the recap, you said how Brahman is very, how the wife says, Brahman is all good, and then you explain further. So, but then the question I got is, we say Rakshasa, but we are saying Brahma Rakshasa. I know that Brahma Rakshasa means he's even more powerful than normal Rakshasa, but then why that Brahma Rakshasa? Just in this context, when we are telling so much about Brahman, I just thought, let me ask if it's okay.
I didn't get your question, Mataji.
No, why do we say Brahma Rakshasa?
Because he killed a Brahmana.
Oh, a Rakshasa who kills a Brahmana becomes Brahma Rakshasa.
No, he became a Rakshasa by killing a Brahmana. So that's the worst type of sin. He became a Rakshasa by killing a Brahmana, and in Rakshasas, the most, the biggest Rakshasa is Brahma Rakshasa, like the great Rakshasa. And Brahma Rakshasa is he who has killed a Brahmana, who has offended a Brahmana, he cursed to become a Brahma Rakshasa. So he becomes a very nasty Brahmana.
Nasty.
I mean, Rakshasa.
But this person, this king, he didn't kill any Brahmana yet, right?
No, he was cursed. No, he's not a Brahma Rakshasa. He's not a Brahma Rakshasa. He's a man-eater Rakshasa, it is said. Oh, it is said that he's a Brahma Rakshasa? Well, maybe he was cursed to become Brahma Rakshasa means, I guess, a big Rakshasa. Mataji is saying, Vindhyavali Mataji.
Yes, Brahma Rakshasa means he's the topmost Rakshasa, Rakshasa is normal Rakshasa. So Brahma Rakshasa is just, he cannot, what to say, the way he does Rakshasa duties, that's topmost he does. So that's, we say Brahma Rakshasa.
The most powerful Rakshasa.
Powerful Rakshasa.
Yeah, so I let me refer to that. It is said that he's a Brahma Rakshasa. Like Vasishtha Muni cursed him to be a Brahma Rakshasa. There it says man-eater Rakshasa in the English translation.
So like you said, Brahma Rakshasa means, Brahmana, he's Brahmana, these things.
Yeah. It doesn't say, Mataji, Saujanya Mataji, it doesn't say that he became, Vasishtha Muni cursed him to be a Brahma Rakshasa. He cursed him to be a man-eater. Because you have served me human flesh, you yourself become a man-eater. So who is a man-eater? A Rakshasa is a man-eater. So you become a Rakshasa. So in this context, why we are talking about Brahma Rakshasa? Because this king who has become a Rakshasa or a man-eater, he is taking a Brahmana. So the wife is saying, this eating a Brahmana, it's very sinful. A Brahma Rakshasa, right? So let me just share the screen one more time. Why the word Brahma Rakshasa even came here. Killed by a Rakshasa like you, right? Where did the word Brahma Rakshasa come?
It's not there.
Yeah, it doesn't say Brahma Rakshasa, but I'm saying Brahma Rakshasa, a Rakshasa who kills a Brahmana becomes a Brahma Rakshasa, and Brahma Rakshasa is the worst type of Rakshasa.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
But how many people are doing this now in Kali Yuga? How many people are Brahmins actually?
Acha, like
No.
that you're saying. Yeah.
So that's also a thing.
Yeah, but are they killing? Well, those who are killing, yeah, they are killing also. They're
Yeah,
killing Vaishnavas, devotees also they're killing.
killing
So yeah,
such.
that is. We are not able to see the consequence in our lifetime. We may not be able to see, but that does not mean they are not getting the result. The law of karma is very, very stringent. It will not spare anyone. So if somebody is committing activities like that, killing a Brahmana, killing a Vaishnava, it's not just a sin, it's actually an offense. So, yeah. Achintadev Prabhu is raising his hand. Yes, Prabhuji.
Sorry, by mistake, Mataji.
Oh, by mistake, no problem. Okay, so yeah, there's no term of Brahma Rakshasa here, so we'll just move forward now. But yeah, if you kill a Brahmana, then you become a Brahma Rakshasa. He was already a Rakshasa. He's already a Rakshasa. But her point is, he's a very qualified Brahmana. Don't kill. This is a very greatly sinful act. Killing a Brahmana is a greatly sinful act, right? And you'll be punished severely for that. Text 30. Soyam brahmarshi varyaste rajarshi pravarad vibho katham arhati dharmagya vadam pitur ivatmajaha. So who's next? Inba, right? Inba Inia, Jai Ganesh Prabhu, Jai Shri Mataji, if you're there.
Yeah, let me read, Mataji. My lord, you are completely aware of the religious principles. As a son never deserves to be killed by his father, here is a Brahmana who should be protected by the king and never killed. How does he deserve to be killed by a Raja Rishi like you?
See, now who is she talking to? She's talking to King Saudasa. King Saudasa is a descendant of Ikshwaku Maharaj. Ikshwaku Maharaj is the son of Vaivasvata Manu. So normally kings, who are kings? Kings are Rajarshis. They're Raja, they're Rishis in the dress of a king. That means they're all saintly. Kings means he should be a saintly person. And then he can guide the citizens on the right path. So you are a Rajarshi. You are a descendant of Ikshwaku Maharaj. My lord, you are completely aware of the religious principles, right? Because king should know dharma. He should be aware because he is a saintly person, he is a learned person. Kshatriya means he's trained. He's also a Dvija, right? He's taught the Vedas, he goes to Gurukul. So you are completely aware of religious principles. As a son never deserves to be killed by his father, son does not deserve to be killed by the father. Here is a Brahmana who should be protected by the king. For the king, all his subjects are like his children. For a king, all the citizens are like his children. And what to speak of Brahmanas? Brahmanas are the advisors for the king. They play the role of a guru. So even a son, a child, right? A father cannot kill his own child. The child doesn't deserve to be killed by his father. And here is a Brahmana. The king should protect the Brahmana. The king cannot kill a Brahmana. And here is a Brahmana, you are a king. How does this Brahmana deserve to be killed by a Rajarshi like you? It doesn't make sense. So she's reminding him, you are not a Rakshasa. You're a king. You're a Rajarshi. How can you kill a Brahmana? That too to eat him? I mean, first of all, killing a Brahmana is out of question. So how can you do that? That's a point. Purport. Prabhuji, others are there? Jai Ganesh Prabhu?
Not available, Mataji.
Okay. Isha?
The word Rajarshi refers to a king who behaves like a rishi or sage. Such a king is also called Naradeva because he is considered a representative of the Supreme Lord. Because his duty is to rule the kingdom, to maintain Brahminical culture, he never desires to kill a Brahmana. Generally, a Brahmana, woman, child, old man, or cow is never regarded as punishable. Thus, the wife of the Brahmana requested the king to refrain from this simple act.
Yeah. Rajarshi means king who is saintly, who behaves like a rishi. So such a king is a representative of the Supreme Lord. The king is called Naradeva. Naradeva means the Supreme Lord in the form of a human being. That is a king. When is he a Naradeva? When he is a Rajarshi. He is actually living his life according to the Lord's instructions and he is guiding the citizens in that way. So here you are a Rajarshi. You are Naradeva. So then what is the duty of a Rajarshi? His duty is to rule the kingdom and always maintain that Brahminical culture. What is Brahminical culture? Protection of Brahmanas, cows, women, old men, old people, children. This is Brahminical culture. And the king has to make sure that the Brahminical culture is preserved, is maintained in the society. So Brahmins are to be protected. Being the protector of Dharma, how does it look if the king himself is killing a Brahmana? He's supposed to protect Brahmanas and make sure that everyone else is protecting Brahmanas. How can he himself kill a Brahmana? That's her point. Generally, Brahmana, woman, child, old man or cow is never regarded as punishable. Thus, the wife of Brahmana requested the king to refrain from this sinful act. Next, Krishna Shish. Tasya sadhor apapasya Runasya brahmavadinah katham vadham yatha babhror manyate sanmato bhavan.
You are well known and worshipped in learned circles. How dare you kill this Brahmana, who is a saintly, sinless person, well versed in Vedic knowledge? Killing him would be like destroying the embryo within the womb or killing a cow.
Yeah. How dare you do this? She's challenging him. No more begging. Right? Spare my husband. No, now she's even challenging him. You are a Rajarshi. You are an upholder of Dharma. You know, a Shudra does an act like this. That's understandable because he doesn't know better. You are a Rajarshi. How can you act like this? How dare you do this? Your killing of Brahmana is no worse than killing an embryo in the womb, which nowadays is like, acceptable in the society. So that tells us of the degradation of the values in the society today. So this is killing a Brahmana is not worse than killing a baby in the womb or killing a cow. So killing cows also is happening on a large scale in slaughterhouses on a daily basis. Killing embryos in the womb, they have big facilities, hospitals just for that purpose of murdering babies in the womb.
That is why it is Kali Yuga.
Yeah. And what to speak of Brahmanas? They don't even recognize Brahmana. It's just, it does not matter. That's Kali Yuga. But this was a king, a Rajarshi. How are you doing this, right? You are well known and you're worshipped. You see, when you become a leader, yes, of course, as a leader, you have a following and that is there, but actually there's responsibility for the leaders. They have to set the right example, because one mistake on part of the leader can shatter so many people's lives. It will shatter their faith. So when one takes the role of leadership, then that person's responsibility becomes even more. And on different levels, everyone is a leader. Smaller level, bigger level, right? At home, as a parent, you are a leader for the children because they're looking up to you. As a husband, you are the leader for your wife, children, for your parents, and as the head of the family, you become the leader. And further on, when you go out in society, you play different roles as a leader. So we should always be conscious that we don't give up principles, dharma, being overcome by temptation or under the pressure of fear or things like that. Because it's not just me who's going to suffer the reactions for that. That is there, certainly. I will have to suffer for that. But even more than myself, yes, I have done something wrong and I will suffer. That's okay. But more than that, when I play the role of a leader, there are so many other people looking up to me. And if I act badly, yadyad acharati shreshtas tattad evetaro jana. Sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Isn't it? So a leader has a greater responsibility to make sure that he is following the dharma. Everyone should follow. Of course, everyone should follow. But especially the leader has to set the right example for others. So that's what she's saying. You are the king, right? You are well known. You're worshipped in learned circles. How can you act like this? How can you kill this Brahmana? This Brahmana hasn't committed any sin. It's not that you're punishing him for his sins. He's sinless. He's saintly. And he is knowledgeable in Vedic knowledge, in Vedas. If you kill him, it's as good as killing the embryo in the womb or killing a cow. Purport. Madhava is here. Rasapriya.
As stated in the Amarakosa dictionary,
Brunor bhake balagarbhe.
the word Bruno refers either to the cow or the living entity in the embryo. According to Vedic culture, destroying the undeveloped embryo of the soul in the womb is as sinful as killing a cow or a Brahmana. In the embryo, the living entity is present in an undeveloped state. The modern scientific theory that life is a combination of chemicals is nonsense. Scientists cannot manufacture living beings, even like those born from eggs. The idea that scientists can develop a chemical situation resembling that of an egg and bring life from it is nonsensical. Their theory that a chemical combination can have life may be accepted, but these rascals cannot create such a combination. This verse refers to Bhrunasya Vadham, the killing of a Bhruna or destruction of the embryo. Here is a challenge from the Vedic literature. The crude atheistic understanding that the living entity is a combination of matter belongs to the grossest ignorance.
Yeah. So the wife of the Brahmana is saying your killing of this sinless Brahmana is as bad as killing the embryo in the womb. Why is killing the embryo in the womb so bad? Same thing. It's in a helpless state, right? The living entity is in a the cow is also helpless. She's giving us milk, and then in exchange, after taking her milk, we just kill her because a cow is harmless, like a mother. She is a mother. So killing a cow, killing the undeveloped embryo in the womb, these are sinful acts, very, very sinful acts. And killing a brahmana is also the same. So Srila Prabhupada is explaining this point about killing the embryo. But the modern scientific theory is that only at a certain stage of pregnancy is there life in the embryo. Before that, there is no life. That's modern science or their theory. So before there is life, if you kill, it's no problem. And that's also the same calculation about, they say we are vegetarian, but we eat eggs. I don't know if you've heard that or seen that. You can eat eggs because eggs don't have life yet. Prabhupada is saying this is the grossest type of ignorance to say that because it is undeveloped, there is no life yet. Life comes at a certain stage of chemical combination. Prabhupada is very fond, Srila Prabhupada is very fond of bringing this up again and again, that Srila Prabhupada's disciple, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, back then in the early days of ISKCON, he was a scientist, I think a chemistry scientist. So they would have these, meetings of the scientists, gatherings. So somebody said that life comes at a, life when there's a proper combination of chemicals, like let's say there are 4 different chemicals, and if you mix them in the right proportion, then life comes. So this disciple of Prabhupada asked that scientist, if I provided these 4 chemicals to you in the lab, will you be able to produce life? And then he says, oh, that I cannot say. That I cannot say. So you make a proposal and you even receive Nobel Prizes for that, for your theory. But what is the practical application of that theory? That's the point. You are saying that at a certain stage of combination here, the modern scientific theory that life is a combination of chemicals. Okay? When some chemicals are combined together, then life is manifested. This theory is nonsense, Prabhupada is saying. Scientists cannot manufacture life. They cannot manufacture living beings like they manufacture things in factories. They cannot manufacture living beings. Even when they say that we can manufacture water in chemistry labs, all of you, in school itself, the science teachers do this experiment and we watch. They bring, oxygen, hydrogen gases together in one jar, and then you will see there's some droplets of water, and they say, see, we can make water. We combine oxygen and hydrogen together, and water has appeared. And that's how water was formed at the beginning of creation. By the combination of oxygen and hydrogen, so much water is formed, and now there's so much water in the oceans and everything else. If that is the case, why don't you do that? You build these big, big factories and produce so many toys, so much soap, and so many other things, right? Material things you produce. Why don't you produce water? There is so much scarcity of water, in certain countries. Why don't you just manufacture your water? There's so much oxygen and hydrogen in the atmosphere. You just tap all that oxygen, hydrogen, combine, make water, and give them water to drink. Can you do that? No. All you can do is you transport water. Wherever it is naturally available, you take that and you transport it and give it to someone else. You don't even manufacture water, even though you can do some small experiment to show some droplets. Whose thirst is that water going to quench? Similarly, you are saying that life comes by the combination of chemicals. Okay, produce life. Can you produce even one egg? You say egg has no life. We can just eat because it has no life. Okay, then you produce egg. Can you produce one egg of a bird? A small egg, can you produce? You cannot produce. That is the challenge. So to think that, right, living entity is a combination of matter is the grossest type of ignorance. This is the grossest type of ignorance. So this theory that a chemical combination can have life may be accepted. You may accept this if you actually created life from that combination, but you cannot create. So why we will accept your theory? Unless you show it practically, why we should accept it, isn't it? So that's Srila Prabhupada picks on that point to about in the translation it is said that your killing of this Brahmana is good as killing the embryo. So why they kill the embryo? Because they say there is no life at that stage. The chemicals there's not enough chemicals. There's not that particular combination of chemicals, so life has not yet formed. So we can kill. Abortion is allowed, they are saying. So Prabhupada is picking on that point and saying, no, this is the grossest type of ignorance. Saujanya Mataji.
And that is just a reflection. Srila Prabhupada nailed in all directions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, some of them, they just tell the tattva and then, this. But this is like for Kali Yuga, what a person needs to know in whatever direction, however you'll be confronted or faced, you need to have that knowledge. So he has given us all corners of the knowledge.
Really,
So,
Mataji, this
yeah.
Kali Yuga, Prayanalpayusha Sabya Kalavasmin Yuge Jara Manda Sumanda Matayo Manda Bhagya
Manda.
Hubhadrita. Right? We are misdirected.
Yes.
Manda means we are lazy ourselves, we don't have the knowledge, okay. But Sumanda Matayo means you are misdirected.
Yeah.
Misdirected. See, now let's take this topic about abortion. Of course, it's a difficult situation, you're worried, you're concerned, and then you would probably consult somebody. This is my difficulty, what should I do? Who should you consult? First thing, this is also interesting. The Prabhupada says you should only consult either Krishna or Krishna's representative, direct representative. You should not consult anyone who is, covered by the modes of material life. They'll only give you that type of knowledge. They may tell you, if you do this, then this is the health consequences on you and this and that. But spiritually, what are the consequences? Who's going to tell you? You should always approach Krishna or Krishna's representative. So what do people tell you? Yeah, I understand. Go ahead, it's okay. Misdirected in Kali Yuga. And you go to the doctors, they'll also say yes or no, I don't know, whatever they say. Right? In any field, the problem in Kali Yuga is God is taken out of the center. There's no God in the center. And then you try to find solutions to so many problems. So your solutions are also going to create more problems. There is no solution. So yes, Mataji.
The Prabhupada has given us the right medicine for this for this period, actually.
Yes. So that's why we have to approach Prabhupada, right?
Yes.
Therefore, we must read his writings,
Yes.
listen to his instructions.
Yeah. Otherwise, see how he is giving us this purport, because he knows how this Kali Yuga is. Instead of just a translation and some Sanskrit
Exactly.
words and all,
Yes.
right? End of the day, okay, where are we? I need to know what is it that I need to apply now.
Yeah.
And that's what he nailed it to the right thing. Hari bol.
Yes. Jai. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, so it's 5:33 here in India. So for you, it's 8 o'clock. Let's wind up. We'll read Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Sorry, add bookmark. Srimad Bhagavad Gita. As it is, we are reading introduction. We'll continue. Vedic knowledge is not imparted by such defective living entities. Exactly what we discussed just now. Yeah, you cannot approach defective. Defective, why defective? All conditioned souls have these 4 defects we read yesterday. Brahma, Pramada, Karana, Patava, Vipralipsa. Being illusion, making mistakes, having imperfect senses, and the tendency to cheat. These are the defects of all conditioned souls. So if you want Vedic knowledge, you should not approach conditioned souls who have these defects. Vedic knowledge was imparted unto the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hrida ya Adi Kavaye. Adi Kavi is Brahma, and in that was Brahma Hrida means Brahma means that Vedic knowledge. Tene Brahma, that Vedic knowledge was given by him. Him means Krishna. Tene Brahma Hrida. It was transmitted from into the heart of Brahma. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. It was imparted unto the heart of Brahma, the first created living being, Adi Kavi. And Brahma in his turn disseminated this knowledge to his sons and disciples like Narad Muni. And as he originally received it from the Lord is Purnam, all perfect, and there is no possibility of his becoming subjected to the laws of material nature. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that the Lord is the only proprietor of everything in the universe and that he is the original creator, the creator of Brahma. Why? Because Brahma is the first person created in the universe. There's nobody before Brahma in this universe. And the Lord is imparting knowledge to Brahma into the heart. That means the Lord is there even before Brahma. So that means he is there even before creation. And he is not controlled by the creation. One should therefore be intelligent enough to know that the Lord is the only proprietor of everything in the universe and that he is the original creator, the creator of even Brahma. In the 11th chapter, the Lord is addressed as Prapitamaha. Brahma is Pitamaha, and 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is called Prapitamaha because Brahma is addressed as Pitamaha, the grandfather. And he is the creator of the grandfather. Who? Krishna. Krishna is the creator of Pitamaha, grandfather. Therefore, he is called Prapitamaha, great grandfather. So, no one should claim to be the proprietor of anything. One should accept only things set aside for him by the Lord as his quota for his maintenance. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjita magrida kasya siddhanam. There's a quota set aside for everyone. You only accept that which is set aside for you and don't encroach upon others' property which is set aside as someone else's quota. Knowing to whom it belongs. Who does it belong to? The proprietor is the Supreme Lord. So it belongs to the Supreme Lord, but some portion has been set aside as your quota. You have a right to that, but you cannot encroach on others' property. Mataji, Saujanya Mataji.
Ishavyashopanishad.
Yes, Ishapanishad. Yes, ma'am. So now let's read Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita a little bit and I'll end. So Srila Prabhupada was living in the studio of Dr. Mishra, but Dr. Mishra would not allow Prabhupada to speak because Dr. Mishra was a hardcore Mayavadi, right? And Srila Prabhupada is a devotee, a pure devotee. So when he would speak about pure devotional service, Dr. Mishra would not like that. So he would not allow Srila Prabhupada to speak to his students, yoga students. But he would tell Prabhupada will lead Kirtan, but no speaking, like that. So now let's continue reading. Every morning, several hours before dawn, Prabhupada would rise, take his bath, chant Hare Krishna on his beads, and work at his translating. While outside his closed-in windowless chamber, dawn came and the city awoke. So, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Yasyam Jagarti Bhutani. Tasyam, sorry. Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagarti Sayami. Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sanisha Pashyato Mune. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control, or for the self-control. What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for the self-control. When the whole world is sleeping, the self-control is awake. So you see that here in the case of Srila Prabhupada. Everyone is sleeping and Srila Prabhupada is up chanting his rounds, doing his translation work, right, in his room. We should minimize our sleep. Anyway, all day we are doing material activities we have to do for the maintenance of family and all that. Then reduce sleep, and that time you use for spiritual activity. That's what all our acharyas did. Not only in they all day also they were engaged, but nights also they used. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't even sleep, and all his devotees didn't sleep. All night long they would do kirtan. Right? It's not that you don't sleep because you have some health issues and you're not able to sleep, you're not getting sleep, therefore you stay up in the night. Not like that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur would go to bed at 8 or something, not even 8, even earlier. Like as soon as he came from work, in the evening he would take some prasad, he would go to bed and he would get up. And then all night long he would write his songs like that. So, yeah, because after all we have so many hours in this life. Once that time is past, it's over, isn't it? So let's use that time in Krishna consciousness as much as possible. So he would rise, Prabhupada would rise, take his bath, yes? Chant Hare Krishna on his beads. Always, this also we see. First thing they do is they chant. After they rise, they take bath, they chant Hare Krishna. I was listening to some time ago, Kadam Kanan Maharaj's schedule. He would get up at 2. There are many devotees, right? Here in Mayapur, we hear about Jananivas Prabhu. In New Vrindavan, olden days, all devotees would rise really early in the morning. Like at 1 o'clock in the morning, they would get up, take bath, chant all the standard was chant all your 16 rounds before Mangalarti. Mangalarti is at 4:30. So before that, you take your bath, you chant all 16 rounds, and then they start their deity worship also. Like that. So it's good. They have set the standard, right? Yadyada acharati sreshtas. Now we have to try to learn from them and make our little endeavor. So, yeah, chant Hare Krishna on his beads and work at his translating while outside his closed-in windowless chamber. Yeah, see, there were no windows. The room that was given to Srila Prabhupada, there were no windows. It was on the, I think, 5th floor or 14th floor. Dawn came and the city awoke. He had no stove, so daily he had to walk the 7 blocks to the Riverside Drive apartment to cook. It would be late morning when he would come out onto the busy street. He would walk north on Columbus Avenue amid the steady flow of pedestrians, pausing at each intersection in the sweeping breeze from the river. Instead of the small town scenery of Butler, he passed through the rows of 30-story office buildings on Columbus Avenue. At street level were shoe repair shops, candy stores, laundries, and continental restaurants. The upper stories held the professional suites of doctors, dentists, and lawyers. At 75th Street, he would turn west and walk through a neighborhood of brownstone apartments, and then across Amsterdam to Broadway with its Center Island Park. The greenery here could more accurately be described as blackery. It was not really greenery, it was blackery. That means all the trees and all that were covered with soot coming from maybe automobiles and I don't know, factories maybe, I don't know. So the greenery was more like blackery since it was covered with soot and city grime. Broadway displayed its produce shops and butcher shops with their stands extending onto the sidewalk, and old men sat on benches in the thin strip of park between the northbound and southbound traffic. The last block on 75th before Riverside Drive held high-rise apartment buildings with doormen standing. 33 Riverside Drive also had a doorman. Sometimes Prabhupada would walk in Riverside Park, still careful for the condition of his heart. He liked the long stretches of flat walking area. Sometimes he would walk from Dr. Mishra's studio down 72nd Street to Amsterdam Avenue to the West End Superette, where he would buy produce and spices for his cooking. Sometimes he would wander through Manhattan without any fixed direction, and sometimes he would take buses to different areas of the city. On weekends, Prabhupada would accompany Dr. Mishra to his Anand Ashram, 1 hour north of the city in Monroe, New York. Joan Sewell, who used to drive them, would overhear their animated conversation in the back seat of her car. Although they spoke in Hindi, she could hear their discussions turn into loud, shouting arguments. Afterward, they would become friends again. So we'll stop here. But it gives you a glimpse into the struggles that Srila Prabhupada underwent even on a daily basis. He didn't even have a stove, and he had to walk so much onto so many streets every day just to cook one meal, and he would cook once only. And then the pollution and everything else. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Thank you very much. All of you have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. It's more like, when we all come to hear so many struggles, we say, oh my God, it was like that. But that was for ourselves. But Prabhupada came not just for himself. So,
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, he was very comfortably situated in Vrindavan, but
yes,
he's going through all these difficulties to give us Krishna consciousness.
get visa, sponsorship, getting pushback from the people. Not just one, so many.
Yeah. So we must also, we have a debt actually, right? When somebody gives us so much, how do you feel? We also have to give something. Otherwise, I'm just getting burdened by that debt. I have to also do something. So he has given us the greatest gift. We can never ever repay it, but at least if you're a gentleman, you will try to do something. You know you won't be able to repay, but something we have to do in return, right? For all the struggles that he has undergone for our sake. Thank you.
That is the thing that we should feel when we're chanting, when we're reading the book, or when we bypass. We should remind ourselves.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare